Frankenstein's got a journal, Wolfman has a vlog. Swamp Thing tweets from down in his bog. Pete and Nash read it all, and now they're trying to see what's going on with these Vampire Diaries. Hello, welcome to the Vampire Diaries, the Vampire Diaries podcast. We're a guy who has never seen the show, watches the series with a super fan. I am the titular PT. Let's just say I put the PT in Vampire. But please call me Pete. I am here via the internet, via Zoom, with my co-host and co-parent Ash. It's our first remote episode.
Hey! I'm also on Zoom.
We're in remote locations.
I know. I miss you.
Miss you too, but I'm glad we get to come together for the Vampire Diaries. Much like I'm sure many couples around the country and the world also get together and co-listen to this podcast.
Perfect.
Season 1, episode 15, A Few Good Men.
A Few Good Men. Mm-hmm.
Would you say the men were on display in this episode, Ash?
Yeah, all the way.
When are we going to get a few good women?
That's not what the show's all about, Pete.
I'm coming to realize that there are some beefcakes on this show. There's a lot of man candy. I feel like the women are underrepresented. There are certainly a lot of, diverse characters. There's a lot of female presence in the show, but where are our, slamming hotties?
I don't know. Catherine's a slamming hottie.
I think that all the ladies, look great, but
she's the most sexual one. She's putting it out there.
You know what? Catherine does certainly bring an element of sensuality.
Yeah.
But a few good men. All right. The cold open, Ash.
Mm-hmm.
We see a hiker hiking. I'm surprised it wasn't a couple. I'm surprised it wasn't a hiker couple.
I know. Solo this time.
Yeah, what's this nerd's deal?
We don't really know.
No significant other?
A solo hike.
The vampire who escaped the tomb, we know his name is Harper.
Mm-hmm. Also the name of my parents' dog.
Yes. Also the name of Bryce Harper, formerly from the Nationals, and now he plays on the Phillies.
Correct.
Harper meets hiker. That sounds like a good TV show.
Or that's a good song name too, song title.
Yeah. I just wrote feeds.
I know. He was sweet though. He was asking the hiker, what's the date? And then what's the year? And also it's why don't you just ask the year first of all? Because who cares if it's a Wednesday?
Yeah, true.
And then he's like, oh, you seem really nice. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for what?
Yeah, and I guess he killed him. He didn't turn him into a vampire.
Nah, he just needed his blood.
And he obviously escaped the tomb at nighttime, and now it's daytime. So I'm guessing that he didn't let loose on that keg party, that awesome rager. Mm-hmm. I feel like that would be too messy, story-wise for all those kids to see a vampire.
Yeah, but also Harper seemed kind of like a reserved vampire. He was just kind of chilling and he wasn't just going nuts. But yeah, it was in the daytime, and you had questions about that in the last episode. How is he just opening this tomb and just walking out, and it's in the day, or what's going on?
Yeah, he did seem like he was covered in dirt and tomb matter, but I wonder if that matters or if I don't know, he definitely wasn't getting burnt up.
No, he was not.
I liked that he stole the hiker's clothes. I said Harper looks fresh in the Eddie Bauer.
Yeah, he looked good.
And then he takes the cell phone out and it rings or whatever, and he doesn't know what a phone is.
Yeah, he just is and just leaves it.
Yeah, that was funny. Mm-hmm. Well, that was a good cold open.
Yeah. I like that it circled back to where we left off.
Yeah. Kind of wish that the hiker had a lady hiker and they were talking about Dave Matthews Band or something, though.
You just want every episode to be the pilot
Yeah, just the exact same formula every episode.
every single time.
Mm-hmm. All right, main episode. Elena is calling Bonnie from the porch. Bonnie is obviously off somewhere grieving. Aunt Jenna comes home. Ash, I thought this was a good cell phone to cell phone transition. One
I
person,
noticed this too.
nice. One person who doesn't know how to use a cell phone to one person who does.
Yeah. Lol.
Elena is writing in her journal. Elena wants to hear more about her adoption from Aunt Jenna.
Yes.
Jenna spills the beans, huh?
Was this your favorite part when Aunt Jenna walks in and she's like, let me tell you about what I found out? And she's like, and then she goes and does a Bing search and she even says the word Bing.
Yes. Well, before we get to the binging, I thought this episode was chock full of people actually finally telling each other information.
Yes, exactly. Finally.
Yeah, I feel like that tomb chapter is over, and maybe now this is the Isabel chapter.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah, I said LOL, Aunt Jenna binged something to WTH, and she binged Peterson. She just like binged a last name.
Yeah.
And I said, this is some early Googling.
I know, it's so funny when, and then in the next scene or whatever, Harper, he's like walking around the town, like looking at everyone using technology, but also us as the viewer watching this show 10 years later, we're like, that's some old technology.
Yeah, and he's like, this is some new technology.
Yeah, that's silly.
I said the internet has sadly come a long way, even since 2010.
It sure has. So have cell phones.
Yep. Although somebody, like Elena has a flip phone, I feel like, but somebody does have a smartphone in this episode.
Yeah, all kinds of phones. I feel like there was a phone, like the silver flip phone. I used to have that phone.
Nice. Okay, so Ash, I peeped Melinda Clarke's name in the credits.
Oh no! I was hoping that you were going to just be so surprised in that scene.
No, I was surprised. We'll get to my surprise, but I was like, and Melinda Clarke. Okay, what's going on here? I said this show must have the same casting director or something. All these people are crossing over.
Yeah, maybe.
And then also RuPaul's Drag Race is winning Emmys at the moment of this taping. They so far have won for casting.
Mm-hmm.
They won for editing. They've won for makeup, and they won for hair.
That's awesome.
And I didn't have too much to do with any of those except for the editing slightly. But yeah, good job, RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah, that's a great team. A great cast.
Saltzman's wife, Alaric's wife, was also named Isabel.
Mm-hmm.
Elena and Stefan are talking. Stefan comes in with the fresh shave.
Yeah. You always notice his fresh shave.
Because he looks like the Biebs when he is freshly shaven.
Yeah, he was looking good talking to Elena, and he's like listening real hard.
Mm-hmm. Elena wants to meet her birth mother, but her birth mother might be dead. Did Aunt Jenna tell you how Alaric's wife died? Stefan asks. The coincidence is too high. Okay, he says the coincidence is too high. I didn't really get what he was talking about.
Because he was being vague with Elena. Because he knew that Damon killed Alaric's wife.
Yeah.
But he wanted proof before he had to tell that to Elena. Because he didn't really want to, he loves Damon. He doesn't want Dana to be Elena's mom's murderer or whatever. Like he's trying to find out that it's not true, without telling anyone. So he's just like, don't even think about it. The coincidence is too high because he just doesn't even want to go there yet until he can be like, no, that's not what happened. This is the truth, whatever.
Yeah. For like 15 or 20 minutes of this episode, you truly think Damon killed Elena's mom straight up?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that's cold.
Yeah.
They bring it around, though, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Damon is dealing in his own way. He's having a sexy party, Ash.
What did you think about this sexy party, Pete?
You know, I think we've said this before, but like Fast and Furious movies have the butt montage and like that sort of thing. They have that down to a science that like this TV show just doesn't.
Yeah.
I did think it was interesting. Like he had bitten these ladies all over the place.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That was a fun detail, but
That
I don't know.
he's just compelling them and sucking their blood, but not killing or turning anyone, and he'll just like let them go at the end.
Yeah, they'll wake up in their dorm rooms, Ash. He said.
I know. You are such a metaphor guy, and didn't this seem a little metaphorical to like some date rapey kind of stuff?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yikes!
Yeah, very creepy.
No good, Damon. No good.
No, come on, Damon. Damon says the tri-delts are good at keeping secrets because he's compelling / cajoling them, as you said.
Right.
Damon does some recapping every once in a while. We need some exposition, Ash.
Yeah.
And also, I was wondering, is he drinking Brothers Bond Bourbon in this scene?
Maybe he's trying to figure out the recipe. I can't think of words.
Well, that's good for a podcast.
Yeah. Well, people are listening.
They sure are. Damon might have known Isabel in North Carolina at Duke.
Yes.
And I was like, is this the new Isabel chapter? And Stefan's like, do you remember killing her? And like, Damon kills a lot of people.
Yeah. He's been killing people for so long. How are you going to just be like, oh, yeah, I remember that one?
Yeah, later he begins to remember real quick, though.
He sure does. He just didn't even want to answer Stefan because he was trying to be all cool, and he's kind of drunk, and
yeah,
he's sad about Catherine.
Yeah, he was being like macho or something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like on purpose vague.
Yes, exactly.
Matt and Caroline are hanging out, and then they're making out.
Yeah, that was a serious makeout. The shirts got taken off.
Yeah, they're watching a little TV, empty bachelor pad.
Mm-hmm. Not for long.
And then VA Beach mom is Julie Cooper, Nickel Cooper Bullet.
Correct.
Melinda Clark is Matt's and RIP Vicky's mom.
She is. And that's so
surprise.
Fun.
Yeah. Man, she has troubled daughters who die in shows.
She does. That's right. I didn't think about it that way.
Good old Marissa also died from a vampire. No, but there was substance abuse in Marissa's storyline as well.
Yeah, true. Yeah, and Melinda is getting real drunk in this episode too. You can see that she's just constantly struggling, and poor Matt has to just always take care of his mom. But his life is so much easier when she's not home, even though that means he has to go to work.
Right. Ash, I won't harp on it for too long, but the Founders Day fundraiser even gets a better sign than the Halloween episode.
Yeah, they had a full scene about hanging up that sign.
I know. Do you agree with me, though?
I do.
Halloween episode. If they got to do one next season, Ash. Bachelor raffle. But Aunt Jenna is kissing Alaric, but she's still going to let him get raffled off.
Yeah, I know. I guess that's fine. They're like just sort of starting to date or talk or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of fun to be like, people want to date my boyfriend because he's so hot, blah, blah, blah. But at least she doesn't really have to like necessarily worry about them.
Right.
You don't know anything about that, I guess.
No. She comes right out and asks if his dead wife was Elena's mom.
Right after they kissed, I know.
That was crazy.
She did set it up to be like, this is going to be awkward and weird, but I have to ask you. So yeah, it is true that normally the characters in this show and these types of shows don't just straight up ask anyone anything ever. So it was unusual, but also good to be like, is this Isabel?
Yeah, they wanted to progress that storyline. They're like, let's just do it.
Yeah, I respect that.
For sure. And then it was the same Isabel.
It was.
I mean, I guess it'd be kind of dumb for it not to be.
But also, we watch this show with captions, as we watch many shows with captions on, and her name is spelled very uniquely when they're talking about Alaric's wife, and then it's the same captioning when they're talking about Elena's birth mom. So the captions kind of spoiled that a while back. Did you pick up on that?
No. Only in this episode did I notice that it had the unique spelling. Elena is driving the Mini Coupe, Ash.
Mm-hmm.
No more Escape. R.I.P. Escape.
R.I.P. Escape.
Should have been a Yaris.
That'd be a good one.
She should have switched from an Escape to a Yaris. Elena meets Trudy. Well, I haven't heard that name in years. When she's talking about Isabel, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Trudy was definitely a little weird from the beginning. Like, something's up.
She was very weird. She does not invite Elena in. And I was like, does she think it's Catherine? What's going on here?
Mm-hmm.
But then we kind of like see that she has weird stuff going on. Any idea who my father is? She went to Duke. So we don't know who this father is currently.
Nope.
But Isabel went to Duke. I would say Duck Fook. And I would say go Terps.
Go Terps.
Uh-huh.
I'm with you on that one.
And Trudy texts someone that Elena is there.
Yes.
Which I guess we later find out is Isabel, and there's all sorts of corruption and cajoling and silliness going on.
But yeah, so yeah, at that moment, we don't know that it's Isabel. No. But so basically, Trudy was just like a big liar the whole time she was meeting Elena, and she was just really bad at it.
Okay, but was she?
That's why Trudy was like so nervous and like, and then she's like, "Just get out of here."
But Trudy wasn't being compelled in that moment?
I don't think so, no.
She was just weird?
Yeah, I think she was just like uncomfortable with the fact that Elena was there, and she told her like some truths, about, but she was trying to pretend like she didn't remember and she hadn't heard that name in years, even though she was talking to her that same day. So she was just a bad, nervous liar, and it came off real weird.
Yeah, she was weird. I was wishing that had been some cool actress. Like, I wish it was like Natasha Lyonne or like somebody cool. But yeah. Hey, this actress was also good and weird, so good for her.
Yeah, but that would have been a good casting too.
Mm-hmm. All right, back to Matt and his VA Beach mom, who we learned her name is Kelly, right?
Yeah.
Pete, never in one place too long, she says, because she was rolling around with a truck driver, Pete.
Yep. Good riddance to Pete.
Right? Never in one place too long, they say. And then they're both like, you heard from Vicky? No. But
Kelly, or whatever. I don't want to just call her Kelly. It sounds silly. But Matt's mom is like, she'll come back, whenever. I used to play that game, blah, blah, blah. So she's not worried.
No, I mean, do you think they've even reported her as a missing person or anything?
No, I don't think so.
Because it's been 2 weeks maybe in the life of this long show. Stefan meets Alaric in the town square. They love the town square. They hash it out. There's some real convos going on.
Mm-hmm.
Could Damon be Elena's vamp daddy? That'd be cool.
That's a silly prediction.
Well, no, I mean, it's not true because Elena was already born by then when Isabel was messing around with Damon.
Yeah, she was already born.
But Vamp Daddy, that's a new one. That's a good one. Oh, Vamp Daddy. All right.
But yeah, that's a good conversation with Alaric and Stefan in the town square. And Stefan like has a full range of emotions. He's like, don't tell. And then he's like worried. And then he's like really aggressive again. And he's like, well, maybe okay. Like he just has a full on, he's just so confused. He doesn't know what to do.
Alaric is really mixing it up with these vamp bros.
Yeah.
He kind of needs to slow his roll and kind of, I don't know, give the vampires the sort of respect they deserve, I feel like.
Well, he should like be a little bit more fearful at the very least.
That's what I'm saying. All right.
Yeah.
The pug is walking across the whole podcasting studio. Oh yeah, so there's a flashback to Alaric and Isabel, and Alaric's like, I'm having a 3-way in here with you and your computer.
I know. I don't really like the flashbacks with Alaric and Isabel. They're kind of boring.
They are a little weird, and they're not a period piece like the other flashbacks, and it's just like, yeah, they're kind of weird.
They're just like either fighting in their marriage or they're like, I love you. And it's like, they're just sitting in a bedroom. They're not like doing anything.
That's true. Yeah, their relationship doesn't seem like that cool.
No.
Isabel is doing research about vampires, and she's not sleeping, and I was like, maybe she is a vampire. And she is now, I guess. Not in that moment. She loved vampires so much, she had to get turned into one, which literally is what happened.
Yeah, they haven't like talked about exactly when she got turned in this flashback like thread. Did she get turned and then Damon kept coming back, or she got turned the night she went missing? So it's a little unclear at this point.
I would think Alaric would be able to tell.
Yeah, she would get H for B.
Yes, and she'd be drinking hot coffee and, all the telltale signs.
Right.
And she's like, you're like Mulder. And I was wondering, Ash, do you know who Mulder is?
Yeah, from the X-Files.
And who was his partner?
Scully?
Uh-huh.
And Scully is also the name of the parrot in Jake and the Neverland Pirates, so I thought I was going to be wrong when I said that.
I wasn't a big X-Files viewer at all. Did you watch any X-Files back in the day?
No, I just saw like commercials for it a gajillion times.
I saw one of the movies. They made 2 or 3 movies. I saw one of those.
I did not know they had movies.
And I thought it was not that tight. They did do an episode. I always say this to you, but they did an episode of X-Files. At the beginning of X-Files, there's like a little location chyron that comes up across the bottom. Mm-hmm. And one episode said Cheverly, Maryland.
Oh, yeah. You have told me that. That is cool.
But I still didn't watch the episode. I just watched that part.
Oh, gosh.
Trudy gives Elena vervain tea.
Yeah, and this is when Trudy's being extra weird and Elena's picking up on it and it's like, what aren't you telling me? And this is when Trudy's like, get out, you gotta get out of here.
Do you think Trudy is just kind of a weird freak anyway?
Who knows, Pete?
All right, Trudy freaks out. She sends Elena out to the coop, the mini coop. Mm-hmm. And a weird man watches Elena.
Yes.
You know what, though, is sad in real life? That weird man just watching Elena get in her car, like, doesn't even have to be some supernatural thing. Like, weird guys just stare at young girls and women nonstop.
I know. Yes, it's happened to me many times, and it's very uncomfortable.
Yeah, like, whenever I'm staring at these girls, like, they're all weirded out. I'm like, hey. That was a joke. My setup was serious that it's a problem, and then I made myself the creep for the sake of joking. Damon meets Alaric at the grill. He orders a Brothers Bond. Alaric says he grades papers with a buzz. We know he's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Forbes rolls up and Alaric leaves, and Sheriff Forbes asks for a favor from Damon to be in the Bachelor raffle.
Yeah. By the way, I thought it was really good of Alaric to just be like, all right, bye, instead of trying to get into it with him at the bar and stuff.
Yeah, Damon was on one, huh?
Yeah.
And in turn, Damon wants info on Alaric. Do some deep diving.
Did you think it was weird that Sheriff Forbes was like, sure?
No, because Damon's the golden boy right now. That same weird man shows up at Trudy's door and forces his way in because he's not a vampire.
Right.
And then he throws her down the stairs.
Yeah, that was sad.
He goes from being a man who stares to throwing a woman down the stairs. Harper is now in the town square. They're working the town square.
Yeah, they love it.
He is confused by the modern age, Ash. I can't say I blame him.
I know. A lot has changed.
Shirtless Damon was my next note.
Oh, yes. Tell me more about your shirtless Damon note.
Elena helps him put a shirt on. The end of note.
I know. They have a little vibe. They're feeling each other. Damon obviously crushes on Elena. It's as close as he can get to Catherine.
Yeah, nonstop.
And then Elena is a good girl, and she's in love with Stefan, but then she has, cordial feelings towards Damon at times. But then he's like, help me button this. And she's like, okay. And they're like real close. And then you get to see that she was embarrassed when she noticed Stefan was there. Like she was busted.
Yeah, and probably that is giving Stefan memories of Catherine and Damon.
Yeah, but Stefan just stands there just like watching, doesn't say anything, doesn't do anything. And then when you recognize he's there, he's just like plays it so chill. Like, I know you know that I saw that, but I'm not going to do anything about it.
Mm-hmm. Damon says that Elena's birth mother sucks.
To her face.
Uh-huh. Maybe the heartache will help him remember that he has one. A heart, that is, Elena says.
I think what Damon was trying to say was, I think his intention by what he was saying was actually really sweet. He was trying to be like, well, if your mom gave you up, then her loss because you're amazing and she didn't get to know you and blah, blah, blah. But he just was like, your mom sucks.
Yep. You're not going to get on someone's good side by saying your mom sucks.
Unless the other person says that first.
Maybe so. I don't know. I'll try it out. It's everyone I meet. Everyone's learning about Isabel, this app.
Mm-hmm.
They should call this episode One Good Isabel. No, they shouldn't.
That would be terrible.
All right, the Founders Day fundraiser is underway.
Yes.
Damon claims he doesn't know Isabel. He's lying.
He's lying.
I mean, is he I guess he is just lying, but he's playing it so like he's not lying. Like, is his memory jogged at a certain point? Or is he just like truly not remembering?
No, he's just not even putting in the effort to remember until he makes the connection that it's Alaric's wife when he sees the picture. And then he's like, actually pays attention because he's like, then he starts to think about, well, what's Alaric doing in my life? Is he trying to get me? So I'm going to try to go after him, which is what Stefan predicted and has been telling Elena all along. And what he's been trying to avoid. But he doesn't know when he finds out that Alaric was married to Isabel, he doesn't find out in that same moment that was Elena's mom.
Right.
So that's why when he goes hard at the interview.
But at the end of the episode, people know Isabel is Elena's mom.
Yeah, they find out at that fundraiser, but it's just after Damon's like, oh yeah, I remember your wife Isabel. She went to Duke and she was really sweet or tasty. Delicious. Oh yeah, delicious. Ugh.
That was super weird and creepy. Like, even if you're not sucking their blood.
Yeah, if you're just a human saying that, like, ew, what are you saying? But yeah, after that fact, he finds out that it was Elena tells him. Elena tells him Isabel was my mom and you killed her. And then that's when Damon actually starts to feel bad because he cares about Elena.
It all comes back to that, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right. VA Beach mom's name is Kelly, I said.
Mm-hmm.
Maddie told me you broke his heart to Elena. She puts it all out there in front of Elena and Caroline.
I know, so awkward.
And then she's like, he found his rebound girl. This mom likes to stir it up.
Poor Caroline. She's really trying to be like just a normal girlfriend, and Matt's mom is so mean to her.
Yeah, and like Julie Cooper, Nickel Cooper Julie, like she stirred up stuff in the OC for sure, but like in a different way.
Yeah.
So she is known to be one of these moms that's getting in the mix. All right. Damon is being drunk. Forbes does bring info about Saltzman. And now he's starting to remember Isabel and Alaric. Damon was being crazy on the mic. He had a drink. I had a drink with your wife in North Carolina. That's crazy. Elena is understanding what he's saying, and she's sad and mad. Stefan, like, you can tell he loves Damon, but he's so mad or something.
Yeah.
And they both order a brother's bond.
It is sad, though, the relationship between Stefan and Damon, because they both love each other so much, but they just can't get on the same page, and they just keep beefing about different stuff, where if they were just, like, honest with each other, it's just sad. They're sad all the time about it.
Here's my question. Do you think if they had a regular lifespan that they would have been friends?
That's an interesting question. Maybe if they were like, well, we're going to die soon. Let's figure this out.
Yeah, either that or their vamp life was never set into motion and they just kind of were able to get over Catherine and age and stuff.
Maybe. That's a good question.
The weird, creepy man is back. Kelly, the VA Beach mom, wins the Bachelor that she didn't want the plumber.
I know. She didn't actually seem too upset by that, though.
No. Seems like that'll do.
Yep.
Insert graphic plumber joke here. Elena confronts Damon about killing her mom. Damon actually does look affected in that moment.
Right.
Creepy man says Isabel doesn't want to know Elena, and he's under compulsion.
Yeah, did you know that he was compelled before Stefan said he's compelled?
No. I was like, thanks for saying that, Stefan.
Yeah. It was good that he said it, I think, too.
And then I said, whoa, he gets hit by a car.
Yeah, he's like, all right, I'm done here. Looks to the side, walks backwards into traffic, gets hit by a truck.
Yeah, that was crazy. I said Isabel or whoever is a cold vamp.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and he's the one who had the phone that I used to have, because Elena picks it up, and it's a silver flip phone. And then I think she takes it. I was like, I think she leaves it, but I was thinking about Harper.
Jenna wins Alaric, and then the host lady did rig it to win Damon.
Yep.
Kelly, Julie Cooper, is drunk. Matt is all she has left. Don't leave her, she says. She lays down on the very couch where Matt and Caroline were about to bone.
Mm-hmm.
Alaric rolls up on Damon with a steak, Ash.
Yes.
Damon turned Isabel, not killed her, and he had extramarital affairs with her.
Oh, no. So he's finally telling Alaric the truth, but it's interesting that he didn't tell that to Elena or Stefan.
And then I was like, I was like, wait, so is Damon the vamp daddy? I was still thinking about it, and I was like, no, Elena was born before that. And I was like, that's weird anyway. And then I was like, is Isabel in the Catherine bloodline?
Interesting.
Because we know Isabel isn't Catherine with vampnesia. We still don't know if Elena is not Catherine with vampnesia. We know Isabel is Elena's mom, though, so that complicates things.
And we know Catherine looks like Elena.
Yes.
It's very tricky. That's why you got to keep watching.
It's a puzzle, Ash. Damon stabs Alaric with his own stake. And I was like, he died? Stefan comes in.
Damon just sat there while he died. Just like, all right, I get to watch you die now.
Yeah.
That was pretty dark.
And Damon didn't know he had this special ring, so he was just like really killing this guy.
I know. And then he also looked like he was thinking about if he should give him vamp blood and bring him back to life, which he should have, because if he had let Alaric die for real all the way, like he ended up doing on his own without knowing, then Elena would have never forgiven him, because then Elena never would have learned about her mom, or never have a chance to learn about her mom. So I think that Damon was really messing up at that point.
Yeah. He's in the stages of grief, Ash.
Yeah.
He was denial, and then partying with girls, and then killing Saltzmans.
Taking a teacher.
Yep, that's like the third step. Alaric isn't dead, and he has a cool ring that Isabel gave him.
Yeah, remember he was looking for that ring when he was talking to Jeremy?
Yes.
That's the ring. It brought him back to life.
There are all kinds of rings floating around, Ash.
Where do you think that ring came from?
I don't know. Catherine was giving them out in the past. Is Catherine the ring bearer? Is Catherine the Thanos of rings? Or not the Lord of the Rings, but the Lady of the Rings?
Ooh, good one.
Elena has a memories picture frame, and I was like, are those her parents? I said, they're nerds. You think her parents would be jocks?
I thought that was a nice picture of her with her parents.
Yeah, very nice, nerdy picture of nerds. I'm just kidding. I'm just giving them a hard time. She makes a call on the phone from the creepy man, and it's Isabel.
Which, by the way, because we're in a pandemic or whatever, when she picked up that man's phone and put it on her ear, I was like, did she wipe that down before she put that on her ear? I was getting all germed out.
Yeah, did he cough on it?
No, he just died while he had it in his pocket. You're not even going to, wipe it off or anything?
Even give it a little shirt sleeve rub at least.
I know, I watched her put that on her face, and I was like, ugh.
Ugh. Harper goes to Pearl's house, and they've got a classic vamp house going on, Ash.
Yeah.
Do we think that they're compelling this old lady that is, probably owns the house in real life? Or
100%.
Cool.
Yeah. That's why they had to ask her to let him in.
But she could just be, down with vamps.
No, she was compelled for sure.
That's cool. I wonder, does she still have to, go to work while she's compelled and stuff? Are the bills just going to stack up?
Well, Caroline was compelled for a long time with Damon, but she still did stuff.
That's true. And Jeremy is still compelled.
Yeah, and by the way, Jeremy was not in this episode. First time. without Jeremy.
Yep, no Bonnie.
Yep, no Jeremy, no Bonnie.
Isabel hung up.
Yeah, she was like, Isabel? She said her name.
Uh-huh.
And yep, she hung up. So she's still alive.
Ah!
Okay,
And
now.
she'll have some answers, Ash.
Yeah.
I watched the credits.
Okay.
Michael Showers plays Man.
That's a creepy man.
Oh, I guess so. I didn't know who this man was.
Who is Michael Showers?
I don't know. That's just a funny name.
Oh, I thought you were going to be like, you knew that name from somewhere.
No. And then there was a different guy who played Hiker. So Hiker got his own thing. There was both a man and a hiker.
Yeah.
The casting directors, Ash, did not do the OC.
Oh.
I did some extensive IMDb proing.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, and it should be called IMDb probing.
I thought you were going to say you were doing some pro IMDb proing.
No.
But your second one was better.
Yeah, we all know IMDb is the Internet Movie Database, and I pay for the pro version where you can look up stuff. And
nerds.
I'm in a picture frame with memories on it. The casting directors actually didn't do the OC, but they did do Dawson's Creek.
Oh, that's interesting.
But I don't know. There's so much crossover between cast members of the OC and the show.
I think it was just the times. Like, people were just, like, auditioning for the same types of shows and getting into the same kind of thing.
Could be, Ash. And then, did we know that they filmed this in Hotlanta, Ash?
Yeah, I did.
You knew that? I didn't know that.
Now you know.
Now I know from just watching the credits.
And IMDb probing.
Yes. All right, Ash, when you're on a PD pod, there's a little game.
Uh-oh.
If you were setting up a bachelor auction
okay.
for the aforementioned The OC, which did they ever do a bachelor auction? Seems like they would have.
I don't think so.
All right, if you were, who would your bachelors be, first of all?
Mm-hmm.
Five bachelors.
What's the second of all?
We'll get there once you pick your bachelors.
Okay. All right. First of all, I would pick Seth Cohen. That's one. Ryan Atwood, of course.
Strong choices. Mm-hmm.
Sandy Cohen.
Oh, Sandy.
Yeah, love Sandy.
He's not really a bachelor, but okay.
That's okay. Whatever. Does he have to not be married? I don't know.
It depends what the raffle entails.
Che, played by Chris Pratt.
Yes.
And I'm going to go Oliver.
For $1 million, I would have not been able to say that Chris Pratt's character's name was Che. All right.
I won the $1 million.
Seth, Ryan, Sandy, Che, Oliver. This is great.
Yeah.
All right. Second question. Who would win each one?
Who the lady partners would be?
Yeah.
I mean, I want them to just be with the people that they like. Like, I would want Seth with Summer, Sandy and Kirsten, Marissa and Ryan. Che, sorry, Che, you're not getting Summer because Summer's with Seth.
No.
So Che could have, what's her face?
Taylor Townsend?
Taylor Townsend, yes. And then Oliver would have Julie Cooper because they're both cray-cray.
All right, hold on. All right, Seth and Summer, yes, of course. Sandy and Kirsten, yes, of course.
Ryan and Marissa.
Okay. That is the best Ryan relationship. He had a bunch of kind of like weird ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely the best one Marissa had.
Yeah.
Shay and Taylor Townsend would be a real opposites attract kind of thing.
Yeah, but she had that French guy she was dating and stuff. I feel like she would date like anyone, and I think she would probably like Jay.
No, I'm into the opposites attract for those two. That's great. And then Oliver and Julie Cooper. That's a sexy match right there. If I was picking someone for Oliver, I would go Anna.
Yeah. Anna and Oliver would be interesting. I also think about like who I would match up for Luke, because Luke would probably actually be one of the bachelors.
Totally.
It would be interesting to see Luke with Taylor Townsend also.
Sure. And Johnny and his surfboard, bro.
Oh my gosh. And the other guy I did not like, which I don't even remember his name because he was so annoying to me, was that other guy that Summer dated. And he had the long brown hair, like.
Yes.
He was annoying to me. I think I like blocked his name out of my memory.
I don't remember his name either. It's a good show. I feel like this podcast has just turned into us talking about how much we like the OC.
That's okay.
But
it was a good game for me.
But thank you. And I'll bring it back around to how many fangs, and I'll go first. By saying the dose.
Is it 2 fangs for you?
Yes, it was a good app.
Why?
I really enjoyed it for some reason. I liked that they were drinking Brothers Bond. I liked that people were finally having conversations with each other. I like Damon drunkenly going around. Gotta love the fresh shaven Stefan. A lot of good stuff.
I think it was a really good ep too. I definitely was enjoying watching it again. I don't know if I could go 2 though. I'm glad you can.
You don't
but
have
I would
to.
say maybe like a 1.75.
Fair enough.
One fang's fully in, the other one's like almost fully out.
Nice. I have a couple Pete-dictions.
Good.
Isabel is keeping Elena from Catherine, maybe to protect Elena from being turned. Catherine is dangerous, probably, and also there's something obviously special about Elena. Maybe her blood, maybe her bloodline.
Those are some good predictions. I mean, Pete-dictions.
And I think this vamp house might try to get more vampires out of the tomb. However, I'm wondering, are we done with the tomb? Can we be done with the tomb?
Yeah, that vamp house is definitely going to be up to something.
They're doing something, for sure.
Do you think that we're going to ever see Catherine in real time?
Well, I know we're going to see her in flashback 1983 Chicago. I'm hoping. If we weren't able to do this via the remote recording, I was going to have to write a fan fiction, Ash.
I know. I want you to do that still.
I might have to. I might still. I was generating some ideas.
Good.
The Windy City, Ash.
I would love it.
For a night in the early 80s, did the Windy City become a bloody city?
Ooh.
If you like
the Vampire Diaries and or you are a young adult.
Yeah. You should check out my young adult book series, The Happenstances, at tinyurl.com/thehappenstances. For any questions or concerns, follow me at Peter L. Harmon on Twitter or Instagram. Ash isn't on Twitter, and she's private on Instagram. If you have something to say to her that isn't weird, I'll tell her, unless you're a creepy man staring at her.
Then go away.
Or email thehappenstances@gmail.com. Don't tweet spoilers or you will get muted, not blocked. I need the follower count. And if you love this show, please leave us a review. Go to ratethispodcast.com/vampd and follow the instructions.
Cheers.